I can't finish.
That's what she said.
Hi, my name is Shivam and I have a problem. Small penis. No, not that. I'm a millennium. That's not a problem. I know. And I've been raised in an environment of video games, movies, Instagram reels, Instagram stories, videos about your love life, and this made my attention span very small. Now the case is like it's very hard for me to try to sit for a long time and read a book. So whenever I try to read a book, I generally leave it to do something fun and stupid, just like your ex. But some of you might say like, Shivam, why do you want to read a book? Are you trying to be smartest? Why can't you just watch movies like rest of us? Nowadays, most of the books has been converted into movies. You can just watch that. So the thing is, every single intellectual, accomplished person had said the same thing. Read books, read books, read books. So apparently that's the route for success and that's never lies. So statistically, that's the thing I have to do. So the have part was clear. How part was remaining.
Nothing is impossible.
So I bought a book, I tried to read it, after a few pages left it. So let's list down the problems that I faced. So I want to read, and even after trying for so long, I was not able to read a book. I had bought books in the past, but after reading a few pages, I generally leave. Some of the problems that I faced was, I will list down. First, short attention span. Just after a page, I used to have the urge to scratch my skin and beat my head on the phone. Second, picked books in which I had to search a lot of words on every single pages, adding salt to my already having irritations. Third, picked a book too complex related to my reading level at the time, so I couldn't understand the story. Fourth, not a lot of book readers in my circle who tried to praise a book, generally how they praise a movie and tempt me with the stories they have read. Fifth, my lazy habit to put non-urgent and untempting tasks. But finally, after 26 years of my existence, I read my first novel that took around 400 pages. Party and dancing, baby. And finally, I want to share with you guys how I did it, because I really wished someone would have told me this, at least few years back.
So I have 6 tips for you. ये 6 करोगे, पहली बुक तो यूँ पढ़ लोगे. Now what happened this time differently from the last few failed attempts of my reading a book was, this time there was a interview coming up. Interview was on operations. So there was a book called The Goal. It is an on operation and turns out book बहुत interesting थी and very easy to read. Full of masala. बीच में उसकी भी भाग गई थी क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा काम कर रहा था. So the first tip is, before going into a big novel, or normal size novel also, first you should read a small book which is easy to read and interesting, so you have a slightly push towards finally reading a novel. Second is, find an interesting novel. So the one I read was a 100-year-old man who jumped out of its window and disappeared by Jonas. And the book was very interesting, full of twists and turns, and it is very funny also. So I was engaged the whole time. So that's the second tip. And for the both first and second thing, you can get the references from a good website which gives the reviews. So what kind of book is it, so you know that you are getting into a good book and not just another failed attempt of yours. The third is try to read slowly. So I remember when I started, my goal was to on the first day read 5 pages. So the progression was like I read the 5 pages on the first day, then 6 pages, then 7 pages, then for 3 to 4 days I just read 88 pages. Then as the book got more and more interesting, I started reading 10, 15, and till the end I was reading like 50, 60 pages on the same setting. So the third tip is go slow. No, give your time, don't rush into anything and get obstructed by backlash. The fourth tip is that is like one of my favorites. So what used to happen was, I earlier used to download movies, and what used to happen was I used to download movies twice. Then that there was a problem. So what I for the solution did is I downloaded IMDb and I started to read the movies. So I know whenever I was trying to watch a new movie, I will just go through like to see what kind of movie it is, and if I have rated it, so that means that I have seen that movie. Now what happened was, because I used to rate the movies in my rating list, the book used to get added, and that gave me a sense of accomplishment every time I finished a movie. So what I would suggest is, get yourself registered on Goodreads, and once you complete a book, rate it. So it gets added in your red book list. So every time you will see that list grows up, and it gives a nice pat on the back. So you feel good about yourself when you see the list growing and you want to finish even quicker. The fifth tip I would say is get a hardcover. At least for the first book, get a hardcover. The problem with me was, in earlier attempts, I had to mark a lot of words. In each page I had to search like 5 to 6 words, and it was very irritating, to be honest, because like how kitna bar karega bhai. So how many times I would search words? What suggestion would I give is, get a hard copy, and every time you find a word that you don't know, or suppose that you know the meaning, a bit doubtful about it, mark that word, write its meaning just above that word. And what you need to do is, once you find that word again, make sure that you write the page number of the same word you found last time. So you will have a sense of referencing. It will be easier to know the meaning of the word, because what happens now, when we read a meaning of the word, we think, yeah, I will remember it now. But again, when you see the word, you are a bit confused, like, do I really know the meaning of that word? So try to reference, that had helped me. And the sixth and last tip I would say is, once you get a book finished, tell people about it, how interesting the book is, and gist of it, try to give them, so people also get inspired by you, and this will eventually grow your book reading circle. I can't finish.